Before you start your next playlisting campaign, you need to hear this. Don't waste your money. Listen to this, all right? Check it.
My revolutionary faculties got me switching up the game and changing minds. Get them out the system, I'll be saving lives.
What's up, y'all? Harco's here with the Music Making Sense podcast, where it's all about music marketing, branding, and how to have success, real success as an independent artist. And one of the most common strategies, tactics, whatever you want to call it, that I see people using to get that success as an independent artist is playlisting. Now, a lot of people are not going to tell you this, but I'm here to tell you that playlisting on Spotify is not the key to success as an independent artist. It's actually a surefire way to get you zero fans. Now you're probably like, what are you talking about, Harcos, man? There's stuff all over the internet telling you how to maximize, there's marketers out there all over the place saying, here's how to maximize your playlisting. Here's how to get accepted to these big editorials and stuff. But I'm here to tell you that if these marketers actually knew what they were talking about, they would be telling you to not submit your music to playlists. Because the reality is that playlisting does not provide any long-term value. It does not get you real fans. Now, for those of y'all who did not just exit out of the video after I said that, you're actually still here tuning in, you want to see exactly why, let me tell you this, okay? So, like I said, a lot of these marketers, they'll be out here telling you, oh, here's how to maximize, here's how to get on all these top playlists, here's how to do this, right? But I'm here to tell you not to. Now, why am I here to tell you not to? Well, there's three main reasons why not to promote your music on playlists. Reason number one not to promote your music on playlists is they don't provide any lasting value. Okay, if playlisting was so effective, then when you put your music on a playlist, you would see sustained fan growth after you were on that playlist. Okay, but that's not the case. See, what happens is you get on a playlist for 30 days. Let's say, for instance, okay, that's the average, 30 days. When you get placed on a playlist for 30 days, you'll see a spike in your listeners and in your streams. Now, that'll get you feeling all good inside, right? You're like, man, look at all these people listening to my stuff. Look at all these streams I'm getting. But what you don't get are the metrics that actually matter. You're not getting the saves on your songs, not just on that song, but on your songs on your whole catalog. You're not getting individual playlist ads, meaning people are adding you to their individual playlist, not just seeing you on the big one, but seeing that song, or hearing that song, liking it, saving it to their profile, and then adding it to their individual playlists. And you're also not seeing follower growth off of it either. All you're seeing is listeners and streams spike. And then as soon as you get off, it just goes right back to where it became. Right back to where you started, Now, what is that doing? How is that helping you grow your fan base? Yeah, you got a lot of people checking out your music. You got a lot of streams, but it translated to nothing substantial. These playlists promise to get you exposure to large audiences, right? And if they actually worked the way they would say, you would see that lasting engagement. You would get in front of however many people, right? And you would have at least 10% of those listeners that would take an action in addition to just listening to your song once or even twice. They would save it, they would add it to their playlists, whether it's their work playlist, their going to work playlist or workout, whatever it is, right? They would add you to that and you would start getting followers. But you don't. And honestly, whether you want to admit this to yourself or not, when you are on these playlists, you will see about a 2 to a 3 stream per listener average, meaning that every single person that listened to your song listened twice, maybe 3 times on average, which means a lot of people are listening one time or sometimes a half a time, and then some other people are listening 2 or 3 times. That's it. That's not any lasting engagement, because you're not actually building any residual listeners. You're not getting any real listeners. When you get off that playlist, it goes right back to where you started, because you haven't built anything. You just got some stuff that made you look good. Okay? And I don't care whether you're submitting these songs through SubmitHub or any other platform like them, not just to single them out, right? But they're a big name. Or Spotify for artists. You're submitting the editorials. Hart goes, man, I don't pay for anything. I just submit only in Spotify for artists to the Spotify editorials. Okay. I don't care. And, we've all heard the horror stories from like DistroKid's Wheel of Playlists, right? If you haven't, y'all need to go research it. I'm going to get too deep into it, but they have been filled with a lot of bots, which in turn gets people kicked off of not just Spotify, but also the distributor as well too for fictitious streams. Either way, these avenues don't actually generate any real fans. Even the Spotify editorials. They don't. Anytime you get on them, get on all of them if you want to. Submit to SubmitHub 1 month, submit to editorials 1 month if you actually get on. See, the thing with the editorials real quick is almost 150,000 songs are uploaded to streaming platforms every single day. And if half, which half don't, but if half submitted to editorials, you're talking about 75,000 songs every single day that not just the AI over at Spotify needs to filter through to see, to filter it up to a manual review by an actual person. But that's a ton of songs that these people got to listen to and try to categorize and see if it needs to be approved for a playlist. It's not a working business model, okay? You submit over there, and unless you are already at the top of their list, meaning that you already have a ton of listeners, a ton of streams, you're a high-profile artist, usually one of the major label artists, you're not getting on these big editorials. You're not. You're not even getting on some of the smaller editorials, okay? But happenstance, just say you did. You're still not going to see the residual growth that you want. And that's a lot because of reason number 2. Why not to promote your music using playlists? And that is Spotify is full of bots. If you haven't ever heard that, I'm here to bring you the news. But I guarantee most of you have heard that. See, Spotify has millions of free accounts. To be specific, as of the time I'm recording this, to be specific, Spotify has 379 million free accounts. Okay? They also had approximately 289 paid accounts. 289 million paid accounts. Let me restart that because I probably got confused. At the time of recording this, Spotify has 379 million free accounts and approximately 289 million paid accounts. Okay? So the paid accounts, those are obviously almost all going to be real people, right? However, out of the 379 million free accounts, which are more than the paid accounts, you're going to have a lot in there that are bots. And these bot farms have been built over the last, decade since Spotify's been on. We've all heard about the stories from major labels getting busted for Spotify, for bots and everything like that. Major label artists getting their stuff taken down to, independent artists getting busted for it. You may even know somebody who's gotten busted for Whether it's a local stream team or an artist will build a playlist and add a bunch of other independent artists on there, and then they all decide to go in once a day and stream that playlist from different devices. That's called a stream team. You're essentially running bots. It's not legitimate listens, okay, when you do anything like that. But like I said, Spotify is filled with bots. Not just those, but the phone banks. There's been documentaries made on this, okay, people? There's been documentaries made on this where they'll have huge banks of phones all plugged in, and somebody will go around and just hit a different playlist every so often and hit play to kind of keep it rolling. Okay, I'm not going to say that all 379 million of those free accounts are bots, but I'm willing to say that at least 10 million are bots. And that's being very gracious. I'm not even hitting the 10% mark. Okay, 10% of 379 million, I'm not even getting to that. Okay, that would be 37.9 million. I'm not even trying to say that. Less than 10% have got to be bots, which means you have millions of bots. And there's all these playlists being added all the time that will add your music to their playlist, run your streams up for a couple of days, and then drop it off so that you see that spike and you go over and contact them and try to pay to get on their playlist, which is completely bots. They'll say it's AI generated. I had this happen to me personally. Over the summer of 2024, depending on when you're listening to this, it may be relevant. But over the summer of 2024, I was running a promotional campaign. Not playlists, not none of that. I was actually running a real conversion ad. And I was getting a lot of engagement. Real engagement. And then one day, I happened to go and look, because I was checking every day to my Spotify for artists and everything. And I happened to see that over the weekend, I had a huge spike and then a solid drop. And I went and looked. I gotten added to an AI-powered playlist. That's literally what they branded it as. For 2 days over the weekend. They got me a little over 1,000 streams in 2 days. And it shot all my metrics out the window. So I had to delete those metrics out, reconfigure all my numbers and everything like that to see what I actually got. But what I also did was I reported that playlist to Spotify and to my distributor. And that playlist is no longer on Spotify, luckily. It could be through Spotify catching it. It could be from one of my reportings. Maybe other people reported it. I don't know. But that is one of the downsides of Spotify in general, but especially these playlists. Because if I didn't report that, and for some reason I got audited and they saw that spike right there, even though it was only a couple days, oh, fictitious streams. That song was removed. We're reporting this to your distributor. The distributor has like a zero tolerance policy nowadays. So, oh, you're off. Now my music is gone off all platforms. Luckily, it didn't happen. But I've seen it happen to artists before. I've seen artists who were running independent local stream teams, and they got not only their music removed off of Spotify, but their artist name banned on Spotify and banned with their distributor. So in order to get back on, they had to pick a different distributor and they had to change their artist name because they were playing around. I've seen it happen. We've all seen it happen. We've seen it happen from, like I said, DistroKid's wheel of playlists. People were getting kicked off and reported for bots. And they're like, what are you talking about? I'm on DistroKid's wheel of playlists. I'm through a DistroKid approved playlist. Why are you kicking me off? That's the only way I'm getting my streams right now. And then, of course, DistroKid has millions of clients. They're not worried about a few here and there. Okay? I've seen it happen, so don't do it. Okay? And, you know, some of y'all might be saying, look, Hargos, these big labels are doing it. Why can't I do it? These big labels are getting away with it, man. It's bullshit. Okay, but think about it like this. These big labels, the big six, they are in partnership with these streaming platforms. They give these streaming platforms the authorization to have their artist music up on those platforms. And in order for Spotify and all these other places to have all those big name artists on their platform, they have to work out a deal with these major labels. And now I haven't seen anything in writing, but you can put two and two together. If you see these big major labels running bots, or a couple of artists, big name artists here and there saying, oh, they just got half their songs removed because of bots, or you see the documentaries where some of these people will be working for the major labels to run up the streams with these bot farms. Well, Spotify can't go and hit them, because if they hit one of the big six, that big six will be like, oh, you want to play like that? Okay, we're pulling all of our artists off. And a platform such as UMG, a company like UMG, who has like 60% market share, Spotify would almost be out of business if 60% of their artists got pulled off. Because UMG does not only just have the UMG, but they got a bunch of affiliates as well too. We saw this happen whenever UMG pulled off of TikTok. TikTok had a little bit of a freak out moment there for a second as well too. And so Spotify, who's already barely profitable, if at all, would just collapse. Some of the other ones, Apple and Google based ones, they could withstand because they got a diverse share of their company doing other things, making money, right? But these major labels, they can get away with it for many different reasons. One, like I said, they have a connection with these streaming platforms. But for two, they got millions of dollars worth of attorneys that can fight anything that they want them to fight. And they got millions of dollars, sometimes billions of dollars, to spend on legal battles just to smoke anybody out. Anybody who wants to sue them, okay, we're just going to put you in 10 years of litigation. It costs millions of dollars to you. We'll sweat you out. It's very, very simple. So whenever I hear artists say that, I'm just like, yo, get out of here, okay? But Spotify also financially benefits from a lot of these free accounts. Because see, all these free accounts, they have ads running. So whenever these bot farms are playing these playlists, well, ads go in every few songs. What is it, like every 5 songs, something like that? It varies. They'll have an ad play. Well, that ad gets played in full, doesn't get skipped or nothing like that. So then Spotify can, whoever placed that ad can go to that person and say, hey, we got another one, got another one. And they just hear cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. Spotify's making money off of it. So they're not going to say too much. They're making money in multiple different ways. So using the excuse as an independent artist, well, these major labels, you can't compete with them. You can't. So don't use them as an excuse, okay? So anyway, reason number 3 not to promote your music on playlists is that playlists don't activate the algorithm. Now I'm talking about these big playlists, editorials, Submit Hub, DistroKid's Wheel of Playlists, Wheel of Death is what some people call it. They don't, no matter how you're getting on these playlists, they don't actually activate the algorithm. Because, like I said, they offer a temporary bump in streams, but it doesn't do anything to your long-term growth. Because what they do is, a lot of these playlists will listen to all kinds of artists. It'd be a hip-hop playlist, but it doesn't just listen to boom bap only. It doesn't just listen to a lot of people who are like Nas and Jay-Z and Joey Badass and you know people like that, right? It's not like an underground boom bap playlist. See, there's just in hip hop alone, there's a ton of different segments. You got trap, you got trap metal, you got all kinds of things. So if you're just on a hip hop playlist, well, the people and the bots on that playlist are listening to a wide variety. However, if you are able to get people who like music the most similar to you, then you are able to actually activate the algorithm. Because, see, if these playlists are sitting here having, let's say you're an artist, you sound just like Joey Badass, and you're on a playlist with Nas, you're on a playlist with Lil Durk, Lil Uzi Vert, Usher, and then other people who kind of sound similar to that, like a wide variety, just like within hip hop, even though Usher, whatever. You have it so diverse, the algorithm doesn't really know what's going on. And then a lot of these bots will listen to hip hop playlists one day, and then like a couple hours later, they'll listen to a rock playlist, and a couple hours later, they'll listen to a country playlist. So it's not able to actually build a solid framework of what type of music people listening to you like to listen to. The algorithm needs consistent, meaningful interactions, such as saves, individual playlists, and followers, in order to find your audience. So if you have real fans of your music who are saving your music, adding it to their playlists, and listening, whether it's at the gym, on the way to work, just relaxing, whatever it is, that tells Spotify what type of people actually like your music. And so then it allows Spotify and these other platforms as well too to suggest your music to other people who would be most likely to enjoy it absolutely for free. These big playlists, they don't do that because the bots are, the playlists are passive listeners or bots. And so real music lovers are where you're actually going to get the statistics that you want. An artist, I'll say it right here, right now, doing sub for sub, follow for follow, stream for stream with other artists is not the way to do it. You need real people who like your music and the music closest to your style to be listening to your music, to be subscribing, to be adding you to playlists, and to be saving your music. Because that is the key to growth on all these platforms. Because these platforms, every single listener, it categorizes what they listen to and puts them in a box, gives them a number. And then it also knows that, hey, people who like this artist also like these artists. And then people who like these artists also like these artists. And it starts categorizing individuals. So whenever somebody who, like I said, if you make music similar to Joey Badass and Nas and Jay-Z, if you make that kind of music and people who are listening to your music also listen to those kind of artists, the algorithms are going to say, oh, okay, so if I have X amount of people who are listening to this song that also listen to these songs, well, let me go find all the other people that listen to these artists and put that music in front of them too. And then once those people start listening and liking it and saving it to their playlists, then the algorithm goes, oh, okay, I'm on the right track. Let's do it some more. Let's do it some more. And it widens the net for you for free. Now, would you rather have free promotion that actually gets you some real growth with real fans? Or would you rather pay just to get warm and fuzzy feel-good numbers? See, that's the difference between a playlist and running a real strategic awareness campaign. See, strategic awareness campaigns are the key to growth. A well-executed strategic promotional campaign will get your music in front of thousands of real listeners who actually like the music most similar to what you make. Now, what that's going to do is get them to take all those actions I just spoke about. If somebody likes music that you're most like and then they hear you as well, they're going to like your music too. So they're going to listen to the music in your catalog. They're going to save songs that they like. They're going to put those songs on different playlists. Oh man, this song is kind of a hype song. I need to put this on my workout playlist. Oh, this is kind of like a somber song. I need to put this on my relaxing or my deep thoughts playlist. Because an individual music listener will have multiple different playlists. You'll have some for when you're angry, some for whenever you're sad, some for whenever you're just on the way to work, some for whenever you're trying to study and get things accomplished. And you're going to put different songs in there because they have different moods. And so those are the people you need to actually target. See, I've worked with artists across all different platforms to help them find the real fans. And the first thing that I tell them is, we're not messing with playlists at all, any playlists. The only ones we care about are individuals adding you to their personal playlists. That's it. Real individuals as well too. Because when you go and find those artists, that's where your results will be real and long lasting. You'll have more fan engagement, which will activate the algorithm and help you find more fans for cheaper. See, whenever you do a strategic promotional campaign, a strategic awareness campaign, when you do that, we're going to be spending money to find these people, to get your stuff put in front of those people. And then once you've activated the algorithm starts working for you for free on all the platforms that we're promoting your song on. So then that lowers your cost per new fan and per listener dramatically. Just because you're activating that algorithm. So using a strategic awareness campaign is way more beneficial than any playlisting campaign you could ever do. You're wasting your money doing these playlisting campaigns. Even if you did a free one on, pitching the editorials on Spotify, you're wasting your time. So why not spend your time and your money in the right way? See, a lot of people, they'll go spend, at least $100 a month on getting on different playlists, whether it's through SubmitHub or individuals, it doesn't matter, right? So, like I said, that doesn't get you any real fans. Why not take that same money and find thousands of real fans who are going to add you to their real playlists and listen to you for real? That's what a strategic awareness campaign can do for you and can actually build your fan base. Now, you can do this 100% yourself. It's not that complicated. You just have to learn how to do it. But if you want to save some time on going on the internet and trying to find people who are going to show you how to, create your own strategic awareness campaign, you can just talk to me. See, I've created the Apex Music System, which is the all-in-one system that's designed to help independent artists actually gain a real solid fan base using social media, streaming, and sales to help them live the musician lifestyle, to ditch those 9-to-5 and multiple part-time jobs that you got to have, right? We want to ditch those. We want to live the musician lifestyle where you're making music, engaging with your fans, and spending as much time as possible with your friends and family. That's what every single one of you want. And within the Apex Music System, we use strategic awareness campaigns to find you real fans. And through the Apex Music System, convert those strangers that we found into listeners and followers, and then into fans, and then super fans, which is going to help you live that musician lifestyle. Now, I offer many different programs and services. Some of them are 100% DIY, where I will teach you how to do this, and then you can go out and do it yourself, 100%, month over month, week over week. It doesn't matter. You just take my course one time, and you'll have access to it, so you can go back and listen to it more and more and everything like that. But you just get the knowledge from me, you take it and you implement it yourself as much as you want. Or you can just have me set it up for you. And I can run it, I can manage it, I can make all the little tweaks in there through my experience. And I can help you maximize your growth. Either way, apexmusicsystem.com is the place that you need to go to find out about either DIY or done for you options. But even if you don't use me, which you should, even if you don't use me, you need to stop running these playlist campaigns and start getting on real playlists that get you real growth from real fans. Actually build a strategic awareness campaign and ditch all these playlists and get real fans. Now, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, put it down below. I know some of y'all have been arguing with me the whole time I've been talking. Put it down below. Put it in the comment section. Or send me a message at musicmakingsensepod.com. Tell me why you don't agree with what I said. And of course, if you agree with what I said, that's great. Come hit me up. Send me a message. And let's get to work on growing your fan base for real. Until next time, I'll see you later.